Everyone, how's it going? It's Coach K here, and we're going to talk today a little bit about Bitcoin's birthday, what's happening in crypto, and get you on the update. So, hope you guys had a scary Halloween, and yeah, let's jump into some news and events, see if anyone's here. If you're here, just say hi on YouTube there, and we'll get started. So, jumping right in, let's look at what you got to look at. So first things first, happy anniversary Bitcoin. You are now around for 10 years. It's been a long ride. Let's look at some of the things. So basically, cyberpunks, you know, they created the white paper 10 years ago. I'm not going to go through all this, but we can see the eCash paper, how they're going to do it. You know, then we had the Genesis block idea, the first hash block. Then we had the first peer-to-peer transfer. Then we had the Bitcoin pizza, the first Bitcoin exchanges. And then we had the block size debate that happened. And then we had the SegWit, and then the SegWit 2x, which actually got canceled last year. And then we have also Bitcoin Cash, one that I'm not very fond of. But yeah, Bitcoin's adoption over the time has obviously scaled up a lot. And if you guys watched the OTC video that Trevor posted in the video, it's exactly the stuff that I've been saying. The OTC market does not affect the actual market that you and I see, because it's like a black market. It's not actually a bad or illegal, but what happens is like, if person A and person B want to change crypto, they don't have to do it through the exchange, so you won't see that actual you won't see it happen the same way you would on the exchange, where it would pump the price of Bitcoin, which is also good in a way, because what can happen is, let's say, you know, we had Mt. Gox and they were actually selling that crypto at OTC. If they had done that, it wouldn't have affected the price of Bitcoin, right? But by selling it on the exchanges, it obviously affected the price of Bitcoin very negatively and pushed the price very far down, okay? So, yeah. Now, let's jump into some positive and some not positive news by two different guys in the world. First, we'll talk about Ron Paul. Ron Paul used to be a Bitcoin skeptic, didn't really like the whole idea, thought gold was really important. And basically, he now thinks that he agrees with Trump and thinks that the Fed is messed up, and that we need to basically get rid of the Fed or control the Fed and go gold standard. And so, you know, he knows that basically what he's saying in this article is the federal government, or the federal central banks, are manipulating prosperity. So kind of like how people thought Tether was pumping up the price of Bitcoin. So they think that they have the illusion of prosperity, and then it's actually not there. And then they control that by putting money in and out of circulation. So it's like they're controlling how the market works, right? And he thinks that's kind of, obviously everyone thinks pretty much it's messed up. If you're in crypto, you probably would agree. And yeah, so even though he's a frequent critic of Bitcoin before and President Trump, he agrees that President Trump should probably get rid of this Federal Reserve. So do I. A lot of other people agree with this too. And that, you know, free capital, free markets are actually going to run the world instead of people controlling them. And the thing that really got his eyes actually open was this tweet where he asked, if a person were to give you 10 grand, which would you choose in 10 years? And 54% of his respondents said Bitcoin. He was actually very shocked the fact that they didn't actually all choose gold. And so that was kind of where he started having an uptick in interest. And his son, obviously, Senator Rand Paul, also actually accepted cryptocurrency payments for donations for his run, which obviously did not happen. But that's the kind of interesting part that's happening right now in the world of crypto in terms of politicians. Then we have this guy. You know what? You know, like when a kid's angry and they say, like, I don't care. It's basically like Jamie Dimon's version of with Bitcoin, right? So Jamie Dimon's like a child who gets upset and he's like, I don't care. Oh, I see some people here. Alex, Axel, nice to see you, and Michael, nice to see you. Hope you guys are doing very well. So, you know, really Jamie Dimon, what he is, he's like an angry child who missed out on getting to go to the concert with his friends or something, and he's like, I don't care that I didn't get to go to the concert, you know? He's like that about Bitcoin because he missed it. And then he was very vocally open about him not liking cryptocurrencies. And you know, he now says, I never changed what I said. I just regret having said it. I didn't want that to be the spokesperson against Bitcoin. I really don't give a shit. That's the point, okay? Blockchain is real, it's technology, but Bitcoin is not the same as fiat currency. You know what? He's right. Bitcoin isn't the same as fiat currency. It's a lot better. And now his organization, which has several, if you go back on my videos where I talk about the banks and show how many times they've been caught money laundering, doing dirty things, you'd see that their bank is the most caught, I believe, or institution, or one of the most caught institutions for laundering money and doing things like wrong. And you know, there is that whole 2008 financial collapse that they kind of got out of too. So I'm not trying to be super critical against Jamie Dimon, but you know, just saying the obvious here. Okay, and yes, I truly believe, and you don't have to agree with me on this, but Bitcoin definitely is the future. And fiat currencies, you know, paper, we don't really need to use that paper. It's not really good for the environment to have to always make paper notes, all these other things. So why wouldn't we use Bitcoin? It's actually better. I bet you money, if you look at how much energy required to use to make Bitcoin, or how much energy is required to make all the countries' currencies in the world, I bet you it's more expensive to make the countries' currencies in the world. Now, I don't have that fact, but I can tell you that both use a lot of energy. Okay, but one is actually immutable and a lot more transparent and better, and this is why banks pretty much don't like it. So moving on, this is an interesting one. I knew this was going to happen. So basically, when we had all these new stable coins come out that were regulated, that were more trusted, I don't really like a couple of them, like Pax. I liked Pax until I found out they have a backdoor way to actually freeze accounts. USDC also can do that. I know someone personally, I can't name their name because they asked me not to, but they got that letter from them saying that he cannot use that service any longer. So I actually saw proof of that. So they already are banning and screening and doing that. So I'm not a big fan. But TUSD I'm a fan of because they don't have that. I haven't seen that yet at all, anywhere. So I am a fan of TUSD, but then here's what's happening. You have DAI, TUSD, USDC, USDT, USDG. There's so many different kinds. And what's going to happen is, what I said, it hasn't actually happened. $400 million has gone into those coins, but not $1 billion. So some of that probably went into some cryptocurrencies, as we see in the market altcoins pump, or potentially comes out of the market. You never know. All right, so yeah, their market cap dropped. They're pulling out of circulation. There's a lot of sketchiness behind Noble Bank, so people got worried about it. Then all of a sudden, people got mass hysteria and started selling it like crazy for Bitcoin and ETH. Those two pumped. We saw all that happen in front of our eyes, like, wow, what's going on? And yeah, that's basically what happened. And so what happened is USDT got so low on some exchanges. It was like 80 cents on Kraken at one point I saw. And these were going to affect it negatively, obviously. So the reason why people don't like USDT, it's because they had too much control of the market, and there's a lot of FUD around it, and people just don't have that amount of trust for them because they're not regulated. So what you're going to see is Tether's market cap probably will continue to decrease over time until the market, you know, starts to grow again. Because what's happening is you're going to see those other coins, those other stable coins, start to become more used, and more the regulated ones, people are going to like them, and that's what's going to happen for sure. Okay, moving on to another subject, XRP. So this is kind of like FUD in my opinion, okay? And I'll tell you why this is kind of like FUD. Because we don't remember that an XRP into September went up to 80 cents from 25 cents. So for it to be down to 44 cents again, it's still up in the last couple months, a lot. So this is kind of like FUD. Like, it's almost like they want you to be sad that you have XRP so other people don't buy it or something. But this is probably a good thing that it's down, because people can have a chance and opportunity to get more. Because, you know, the fundamentals around XRP are insane, and they just announced today that they have almost 200 partners. They're making an office in Dubai. There's big stuff coming from that company. So I wouldn't really worry about this kind of FUDdy stuff. It really is just that. It's just FUDdy. Because it's not really looking at where it started at a couple months ago. It's really just looking at it like from the last month. And sure, it's been down, but God, it just exploded. So it's going to come back. And as we can see that happening, right? So Now, we can look at the text, but that's we'll do that on TA Fridays tomorrow. So let's move on to the most popular wallet. If you guys use Metamask, which if you've used, if you've done ICOs or you've been involved in using ETH transactions and ERC20 tokens, other than using a Trezor, you're probably going to be using MyEther wallet in Metamask on your computer. You can see mine right here, Metamask, right? So you could have that very easily on your computer. And now what they've done is made it go mobile. And actually, the way they've done this, it took a long time, but the way they've done it, it's actually safer to use your mobile than it actually will be to use your computer. So I'll explain why in a second. So it has this thing called Trusted Execution Environment, okay, in smartphones that allow to store data that cannot be reached by hackers. And so because of that, our computers don't actually have that. So it might even be even safer. And obviously, if you're going to start using and transacting with your ETH or your MetaMask tokens, could it be any ERC20, you're going to want an ability to spend it, and it'd be really hard to bring your computer everywhere. So this is a great thing. It's going to definitely be something that I'm going to have on my phone because I can trust MetaMask. And if you're worried about that, it's something that they're already telling you. If it's a smartphone, you probably don't have to worry so much. So we'll give it a shot and we'll test it out. I'm not going to put a big amount of cash flow on it to see if anything does get hacked or anything, but I don't think it will because they've taken a really long time. And here's another reason why they took long. They wanted to make it more than just a dApp. So what they've done is they've added dApps such as CryptoKitties by connecting the wallet to the dApp seamlessly. So now you can now go on and play dApps through your, and it can link to your wallet, and you can play games and pay for stuff and do all that really easily. So these are all the things that are happening in crypto the last couple days. And I think that we're about ready to see some really nice growth. I don't know if it's going to happen in the next week or two, but I can start seeing that the market's been growing in terms of the altcoins a lot, and it's probably just a couple weeks away till we start seeing some other types of growth because it's been a little stagnant. But at the same time of this stagnancy, we've seen 133,000 Bitcoin flow into 5 Bitcoin wallets. And that's what we think are institutional wallets, potentially wallets of players that want to do ETFs. They would have to hold actual Bitcoin. Backed could be another one of those wallets. And so, yeah, it's going to be huge. So let you know what's going to happen on TA Fridays, guys. So what you need to do right now is click on that subscribe and like button. And on TA Fridays, go on a Facebook group, Cryptocurrency Education, and just let them know what cryptocurrencies. Let us know the top 5 we're going to choose, what you want to know TA on. We're going to do a live session on Friday around 11 a.m. my time, Bangkok Standard Time, UTC +7. So that should be, if you're in, let's say, Canada or like in Toronto, New York, that should be Eastern Standard Time around 11 or 10 p.m. So I'll see you guys then. Have yourselves a great day. Coach K signing off.